Take one.
United Nations 2012. I hope you guys had a fun weekend. Did you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Model United Nations is a passion of such a diverse group of individuals and allows students to discover and investigate multiple aspects of foreign policy and current events. Model UN creates global thinkers, and that is what we need for our future. Delegates created solutions to current and past issues this weekend, and I'm truly amazed at their ingenuity and collaborative efforts. From the Knights conspiring against the Vatican, to fighting police corruption in Africa, to becoming more environmentally responsible, and mobsters running rampant. Delegates of C-Team on 2012 invented their own end to the hardest questions of society, both past and present. As Ms. Pettis spoke of being a refugee from Colombia, she reminded us, our stories are all connected. The decisions and actions we make today affect not only us, but other multiple lives that we don't even know. I just want to congratulate all the delegates on their hard work and innovation they demonstrated this weekend. We had a record crazy amount of candy sales this weekend, and we're donating most of the proceeds to US International, who was started by one of your fellow delegates, Will Lynch. If I could have him come to the stage, please.
This summer, I took a trip to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. I was told that no one comes back from Africa the same. I didn't believe them. In my usual never in doubt, often wrong mentality, I blocked them out and left expecting merely to summit a mountain and bond with my dad. But as we all know, things don't always work out like we planned. And they probably shouldn't. I was once told that only two things in your life will change how you are: the books that you read and the people that you meet. I met some pretty spectacular people, but one person in particular made a huge difference. I met Margaret in the lobby of my hotel. I asked her if I could find a phone to call back to the States. And she took me into this back office, and for 10,000 shillings, which is about $8 American, she gave me 600 minutes to call and handed me a personal cell phone. I said, I can't take your personal cell phone, but she insisted, and I wasn't going to argue with her. After I finished, I hung up the phone and tried handing it back to her. She said, no, you keep it in case she wants to call back. Embarrassingly enough, I had been discovered that my important phone call was to a girl. I thought at the time, why is she trusting me with her personal cell phone? It's probably one of the most valuable things that she has. And she doesn't know me, I'm a stranger. And I come to find out that in Tanzania, one of the greatest emphases that they had in their culture is the emphasis on sharing and giving, and they really value that in their culture. When I came back to the States, I thought about how I could be like Margaret, and I decided that it would be best if I could go out each day and try and do one nice thing in the community. As I started to do that, I realized that people were doing that for me all the time, and I hadn't appreciated it until then. But I still felt that there was more I could do. So I gathered a few of my friends together, and we talked about what are some of the big issues that they have in Africa that we could work on and solve together, and one of them was water. And so we created this nonprofit that's completely run by students to send over money to build wells in rural African schools. Water has a bunch of huge effects, and it affects everything from education to health to the economy. Almost every facet that goes into becoming a member of the global community is affected by water. For every $1 that you invest in water or sanitation, it's about a $9 return. So for every candygram you bought here at this conference, you invested $9 into a community somewhere in Africa. So I just want to thank you all.
University Co-op, UT Student Government, Department of Asian Studies, Einstein's Bagels, Panera Bakery, and CC's Pizza. Then some wonderful people at UT Student Activities, Jeff Pulaski, Cindy Martindale, and Adrian McKenzie. Also our wonderful speaker that you all got to enjoy, Ms. Yubeli Perez from the Multicultural Refugee Coalition. Also, we had a World Food Day competition, and the organization on campus was this Texas Baseball Diamond Crew. And we'd like to thank Lauren West for putting that together for us as well. And finally, a and UNA USA Austin chapter. Now, we would like to do what you've all been waiting for, awards, and we will begin with Atlantic City. I'm sorry, I don't know how to spell Arab League.
The Arab League 1945 to 1950 worked hard to find a common ground along their varying backgrounds through the tools of diplomacy and compromise to unite their Arab nations into a tool of international power. Our honorable mention is the Arab High Committee from Alma Heights High School. Our outstanding delegates are Lebanon from Clements High School. And best delegate belongs to the delegation from Saudi Arabia from Lhasa.
Our next committee is Atlantic City Conference Meeting of Organized Crime, moderated by Alex Mack.
From assassinations to brothels and from Las Vegas to the best mafia sport I've ever seen, the Atlantic City Conference was gangsta. After some intense discussions, our members were able to overcome challenges ranging from corrupt district attorneys to internal treason and, yes, the ever-present prohibition. Our crises were on target and explosive. You could even say that our committee ended with a bang, like a bird into a window. And now for the awards. Honorable mention goes to Gaetano Gagliano. Our second honorable mention goes to Irving Wexler. And our outstanding delegate goes to Alphonse Scarface Capone. Our second outstanding delegate goes to Don Carlo Gambino. Our best delegate goes to Frank, the Prime Minister Costello.
Also, some of the awards are still being printed, so if you didn't receive it right now, we will get it to you as soon as possible. Next, we have DISAC, moderated by Hamid Mohammed.
Delegates, I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't have a great time with you guys this weekend. I mean, we laughed together, we debated together, but most importantly, we received embarrassing candygrams together. But then again, we also proved something. We proved that when faced with two resolutions, one not need fail for the other to pass. One mustn't defeat the other for one to succeed. We learned to work together, and we were able to pass two resolutions with 105 votes. And to that, my delegates, I can only say one thing. That's so Raven. And now for the awards. For best delegate, we have the delegation of Senegal. For outstanding delegate, we have the delegation of Canada. For the other outstanding delegate, we have the delegation of Eritrea. For honorable mention, we have the delegation of Belgium. And for our final honorable mention, we have the delegation of Thailand.
Our committee was very enthusiastic about all the topics in hand and worked very efficiently to make great resolutions. Selecting the awards for this committee was very difficult because there were so many outstanding candidates. But with the awards aside, I hope you guys enjoyed an amazing conference here at CTMUN, and we're proud of you guys for representing your countries well and dominating the candy brand sales. So, the first honorable delegate is Ukraine. The other honorable mention goes to Israel. Now moving on to the outstanding delegates. The first outstanding delegate, Switzerland. The other outstanding delegate, Jamaica. Finally, the best delegate this year for the IAEA was Canada.
Our next committee is the International Court of Justice, moderated by Alex Whiteman.
Wait, second six.
Hello, delegates. Thank you, ICJ delegates, for your teamwork and cooperation. This committee was definitely different, but you all did a great job adapting and were efficient in solving the land dispute. Remember, crises and dance parties make everything better. Now for our verbal accommodation, Belgium. Please stand up and be recognized. For our best witness, Sam White. And we have a certificate for you. Please come to the front. For our honorable mention judge, United Kingdom. Best Asian delegation, Singapore. And for best judge, Brazil.
Next, we have the Crisis Committee of the Knights Templar, moderated by
The Knights Templar convened this year to establish themselves as a force to be reckoned with. Through 3 tough days of battle and deceit, they succeeded in that. I am personally very proud to have worked with the 9 extremely intelligent members of my committee this year. Our honorable mentions are Hugo de Humbach of Germany, and Gerard Devier of France. Our 2 outstanding delegates are Frederick von Alvensleben of Hungary and Simone de Lenda of Aragon. And our best delegate this year is Aldolfo Reigns.
Thank you, Knights Templar. Now I'd like their counterpart, the Papal States, moderated by Jane Vinogradova.
The papal conclave cardinals have dealt with backstabbing allegiances, crusades, and most dangerous of all, fake accents. I would like to personally congratulate in my conference that the delegates that were the most creative and intelligent that I believe in this entire conference, which were in my committee. At this time, I will announce the awards. The honorable mentions go to Luke Fashi of Genoa, Teodorico Renier of Orvieto. The outstanding delegates are Jules Winstrom of Brandenburg and Chicoco of Tuscany. And best delegate goes to Walter Winterburn of England.
Thank you, Papal States. Now for the Security Council, moderated by Yahya Khan.
This particular session of the Security Council has been arguably one of the most stressful ones in history. With a hostage situation created by the kidnapping of G20 leaders in Milan, the Security Council worked hard to negotiate the release of their respective ministers while facing the obstacles of limited communication, national differences, and a haphazard Twitter feed. Thank you to all the diligent delegates, and without further ado, the awards. Our honorable mention goes to Bosnia and Herzegovina. Our outstanding delegate is Lebanon. And finally, the best delegate goes to the Russian Federation.
Thank you, Security Council. Now it's for the United Nations Environment Program, moderated by Alina Karahan.
Hi everyone. I had a great time moderating UNEP. All the delegates got a lot done. We got all of our first resolutions passed and most of our second round. I saw a lot of improvement over the course of the conference, and I'm really impressed with every single delegate. So now on to awards. Honorable mention goes to Gabon. Outstanding goes to Bhutan. And Belize. And our best delegate was Canada.
Now we have the United Nations High Commission on Refugees, moderated by Aaron Fair.
To the delegates of the UN High Commission on Refugees, it has been a supreme honor having the opportunity to moderate your committee for CTMON 2012. We were able to address both topics, the first pertaining to uprisings in the Arab Spring, and the second pertaining to the germophobic matter of camp sanitation. It was a pleasure engaging with each of you during debate, answering your personal inquiries both when they were substantive and non-substantive, and yes, getting to release you guys to the delegate dance. I'm confident I came in contact with many of our world's future leaders this weekend. So with no further ado, Honorable Delegate, the nation of Cyprus. The second Honorable Delegate, Canada. Outstanding delegate goes to the nation of Algeria. Again, outstanding delegate goes to the Russian Federation. And best delegate goes to South Africa.
the UNHRC, it's been a pleasure to moderate for all of you. From passionate love poems all the way to passing several resolutions, I say that we have accomplished much this weekend at CT1. Without further ado, the awards. Picking awards for this committee was very strenuous and difficult, seeing as the speaking abilities were amazing this weekend. For honorable mention, we have Canada. Another honorable mention is the Russian Federation. Now to one of our outstanding delegates, Paraguay. Another outstanding delegate, the Islamic Republic of Iran. And finally, the best delegate, voted most intimidating and most likely to be the Secretary General of the UN, Slovakia.
Thank you. And now for the delegation award. Outstanding delegation goes to Ronald Reagan High School. And best delegation goes to the Liberal Arts Science. Taking a photo off. And now I'd like to welcome the board, Ashwin Kumar, to the stage to present the board scholarship.
Thank you, Samantha. Good afternoon, everybody. It's my distinct pleasure to be here on behalf of the CTMUN Board of Directors and the United Nations Association of the United Amazing Conference Secretariat this year was. Madam Secretary General, congratulations to your entire office and staff for a job well done. The CTMUN Senior Scholarship was started last year in the interest of inspiring youth, creating awareness, and investing in the future of our students. This scholarship is to support the education of a graduating senior and is offered in the form of a one-time award of $1,000. The award is expected to be utilized to attend an institution of higher learning. This year, we had 7 outstanding seniors apply, and we were very humbled by the participation. The 2012 members of the CTMUN Board of Directors and UNA USA Austin Chapter are honored to present our second Senior Scholarship Award to Miss Jan Ross As our winner, Ms. Piedad is entrusted with the responsibility of embodying and furthering our mission. We hope many of the juniors in attendance today will follow in the footsteps of Ms. Piedad and apply for the Senior Scholarship next year. Congratulations once again, and we look forward to hearing from many of you next year. Thank you.
And now I'd like to welcome back to the podium our Secretary General, Allison Hawley.
Thank you, everyone, for an amazing weekend. I just want to say that it's my last CT month.
record attendance. Biggest staff we've ever had. We had over 70 staffers this year. So I was extremely proud and honored. And I cannot wait to see what you guys do next year. So it is my pleasure to pass the gavel on to a person who I have no doubt that this person will bring CTMUN to an even greater level next year. So it is my pleasure to introduce the new Secretary General for Central Texas Model United Nations, Mr. Evan Hadfield.
Can we get one more round of a hand for our amazing staff? Alright, I don't really have much to say. I'm just very excited, and I know I have some very, very big shoes to fill. And all of you sitting out here today, if I don't see you back here when we at our next conference as a delegate, I certainly hope and expect you to be one of these amazing staffers when you graduate and come to UT in the fall. My first action as Secretary General, I'm going to provide some entertainment. We have a quick dance number from the South Indian Classical Dance Team at UT, Nitra Sangam. Finally, I know you guys are really eager to get out of here, so are there any other points and motions on the floor?
Motion to close session.
Session for CTMUN 2012 is officially closed.